All right, guys, here on my COMC dashboard. Let's go over some stats and then we'll jump into my app and look at some sold cards and any other updates. So first, items in inventory approaching 9,000, which is awesome. I know some people prefer to have a leaner store, and obviously there's a lot of benefits of that. For me personally, I'm trying to kind of go where the Burbank model is. If I see a card that's sort of liquid and I can find a deal on it, I'm gonna purchase it and hopefully it sells down the road. Now there's obviously some downsides by doing that, but I think it's working out well so far, and I may pivot in the future. So total SRP I don't care about; it's never accurate. Total asking price at 47,471. I'm gonna break the 50K threshold once cards get submitted into the account, or I should say populated into the account, because I've submitted a lot. But regardless, you can see items for sale 777 at the end. Pretty lucky over there. So total sales now have 27,000, and I've sold over 5,000 items on the site, where I've purchased 12,395, added 1537. What I will say is I have a lot more coming in. I have 1,800 in that order. I have 267 in that order as well. I also have orders that I dropped off at the National, and I don't believe those are in here yet, but they will populate. Unless this is my National order. I don't remember. No, these aren't, because I have at least 22 slabs in a few, and man, was it like 350 cards? I forget. But regardless, I have a lot of stuff getting to be entered in, and we'll be over the 10,000 on this side of things, because I continue to buy quite a bit. So let's go into some seller stats, and we'll go to the basic side of things. So sales by month, we'll look at that first. And look, 793 cards sold, $3,102.65. So the total sales is up compared to last few months, right? 2.5, 2.5, 2.9, $200 more. Number sold is up as well. And what that tells me is I'm selling a lot more lower end side of things, which there's nothing wrong with that. I still want to increase the total sales side of things, but it's also good to see the cards that I'm flipping. There's a decent amount that move every single month when you're selling close to 800. I still really want to scale this to 1,000 by the end of the year, and I think it's doable, especially if you look at where I started, right? December, 400 cards, and obviously I'd rather have a December month, right? 3,700 versus 31. But it's increased, right? 421, 497, 540, 621, 550, 594, 649. So I'm kind of more concerned about these numbers sold rather than the total sales, which sounds like the opposite, but I want to keep scaling this on that side of things, which tells me I'm buying the right stuff on the site. So there's that. And obviously, I flipped one card in 2021 when I first heard about the platform. And then June, I flipped one card as well. And that was right before the National in July. I added some funds. And then really August. So after this month, it'll be essentially 1 year of selling stuff on COMC. So I'll make some videos on that side of things, what I've learned my first year of buying and selling on COMC, because it'll be 12 months, and I'll do some more aggregates on data, and maybe we'll make a presentation on that side of things. But let's jump into my seller stats. I'll be honest with you guys, I have not had a chance to work on these dates. I promised you guys and said, I'll work on these dates, and not all of them work yet. And I'm sorry. This does show you everything from your 2024 or 2023, whatever years that you upload. I mean, you can upload multiple files on this side of things, but I've been slammed with the National and work and my coding channel, so I just haven't had a chance to go back. But regardless, let's take a look at my stats. So obviously I'm still doing extremely well baseball wise, and I've been picking up on the basketball side of things. Now, the reason why I've been doing a lot of basketball, I find that they move a little bit better on the platform. So you'll see over time, I want to say baseball and basketball are going to be pretty even long term. Obviously, right now, there's a lot of bias because of baseball, but I've really started learning a little bit about basketball, which seems so odd because it's not what I collect. Like, I have one basketball card in my collection, which is a Dwight Howard rookie auto that I pulled as a kid. That's it. And I have no interest in collecting basketball cards. But regardless, my third category is hockey, and my third category is football, then hockey, and non-sports. And that kind of all makes sense. Definitely my top 5. I've also been slowly getting into vintage hockey. There's still a ton to learn, and that's from kind of the eBay top 30 series. I'll expand stuff over time. Regardless, decade distribution, 90s stuff sells the best for me. I've learned a lot about 90s cards. I'm still nowhere near an expert, but for flipping cards, you have a lot of bigger names in the 90s. Either you have like Kobe Bryant's or Jordan's or Ken Griffey Jr.'s. Baseball has so many different names as well, but that's kind of the bread and butter. And also the reason why I focus more on 90s rather than newer stuff is a little bit more of a price stability. When you go to the ultra modern side of things, prices change so fast, man. And I want to have more of a stable port. Obviously, your profit margins go down a little bit, but I don't want to have my port go down 30-40% overnight. The one thing that's interesting too, by sport, I don't do well selling soccer or Marvel or anything like that. Marvel's not a sport, obviously, but I've not done really well with soccer, but there's a huge opportunity in soccer. I really haven't explored it yet. Also, I need to add another category over here because I have purchased a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And again, sounds really weird. When I was a kid, the first TCG I got into was Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't follow it anymore or anything like that, but I saw a portfolio on COMC that had a pretty good deal on a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like 5 cents, 10 cents. And they were like Legends of Blue Eyes, which I think was one of the first releases. So I bought a lot of those up and I repriced them. So I will see them trickle down. I kind of expect them to sell over a few years. I don't expect super liquid stuff, but regardless, when you buy it at that price point, you can't pass it up. So awesome. So some of just quick stats. I've sold 348 cards I've added to my account. 3913 have been sold, essentially, that I've flipped. 209 of those are serial number cards. 852 were sold on eBay. 519 on the COMC cart. Most of them actually get purchased by other COMC users. An average price of a flip card is about $3. Now, my top 10 selling players. So no surprise here. Ken Griffey Jr. number 1, Michael Jordan, then Shaq, Derek Jeter, Mantle, Kobe, Gretzky, Nolan Ryan, Tom Brady, and Ohtani. I really haven't been buying a lot of Ohtani cards, so I do expect Ohtani to drop out of this top 10. I'm not too sure when that will happen. Same with Tom Brady and Nolan Ryan. I can't even remember the last time I bought a Nolan Ryan card, but apparently my inventory of Nolan Ryan still sells, right? Because if you go all the way over here, I've sold 56 and 52. So I'm curious who is outside my top 10 that'll populate over here. But you can see really Griffey and Jordan, they're bulk, right? 219 and 151, Shaq and Jeter. And then it's a pretty bigger gap down below. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see. So some stats, kind of like where my profit is this year. And right now, my strategy is to completely reinvest in the store. I might be changing that COMC strategy up, and I'll talk about this after this month. But right now, I'm just putting everything back in, right? So profit, baseball is doing the best profit-wise. Non-sports, number 2. The reason why non-sports is doing well is there's a lot of cards I've added to the site. And right now, there's no way to track in COMC how much you paid for an item outside the site. I really wish there was, because you could get some really cool data points. It just isn't really there, right? Basketball on there, 666. Total sales, 2,800 on here. Football actually does better for me, right? So you can see I've had more profit on football. I sold quite a less cards, and the total sales amount being 2,200. Really, really good profit margin, to be honest with you. What I always like looking at too is this annualized return. And baseball, you can see 375, football 445, basketball 486. So I am moving basketball cards faster than football. So some of that will attribute to this annualized return, which is actually a better statistic than just profit sum or total sales amount. As you can see, I move a basketball card on average in 28 days, where football is 33 and baseball is 44. And that's kind of the reason why I think when I was looking at one of these videos or just doing a data dive, why I started pivoting a lot more towards basketball, because it still has a pretty good annualized return, right? 486 over here and 28 days. And I didn't really add a lot of basketball cards to the site, which wouldn't inflate this annualized return. I've added a lot of boxing cards, so that's why you see a really high annualized return. I've added a lot of non-sports and multi-sports, but in comparison, right, on basketball, and you can always filter it too, right? So like if I go over here and let's just take a look at flipped. Hopefully this works. I haven't checked this in a while. So let's take a look at profit sum. Here we go. So this is just items that I flipped on the site, and you can see basketball 482, 870 sales count. Non-sports still does pretty well on the stuff that I flipped, but nowhere near where basketball is, right? And across the board, boxing actually has done well, but you can see it's only 7, so it's like there you don't have a lot of data points. Whereas basketball, I've sold 870 and we're over there. Soccer is crazy, 80,000, but like you can see sales count is really 2. So let me go back over here, go back to added, and we'll continue going through. But just kind of interesting to show you guys what's going on there. And then you can see kind of like the advanced profit, like where am I profiting at? Like let's take a look at 50%, because I think it's always good to look at in the middle. As you can see, basketball, like on the average flip on a basketball card, I'm making about 33 cents. And baseball, 40 cents. Boxing, $3.30. Again, boxing hasn't sold a lot, right? If you go over here to boxing, there's 23 sales. So now it's not the best. Football, 42 cents. So I need to do a little bit more research on what's been selling for me football wise and really dive into that, because there's an opportunity there, especially when we're taking a look at these returns. I need to look a lot more at football because it's performing well for my account. Now, this doesn't factor in stale rate on inventory, and I think that would be another interesting metric to have on a data tool, and maybe I'll build it out in the future. But you know, what cards are still in my inventory? I don't have any data reporting on that yet. Technically, you go in your account and see your items when it was purchased and filter by it, but really kind of like a dashboard would be interesting. And I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this video that don't care about the stats and things like this, but like I run data for a living, so I nerd out on this type of stuff. But days to sale, so you can see like regardless, middle 50%, we'll look at how long it takes. So Star Wars taking 105 days on average is really interesting to me, because I would have thought, you know, Star Wars being such a popular film franchise would move faster, but vintage Star Wars did not move really well for me on the platform. Basketball, again, 28. If you go to 40%, right, you're at 20, and then over here at 36. Basketball just moves so fast on the site. I'm really liking it. And football has been moving fast for me too, right? 21 to 48. So that's kind of where I've been focusing a lot more rather than baseball. Which, again, nothing wrong with baseball. These are solid numbers still. I think if you're moving a card, you know, under 2 months, I think it's pretty good, especially for stuff that's not ultra modern. Ultra modern's just in its own different realm. I'm not focusing on ultra modern. I think that's a pretty good data point. And hockey has also done pretty well for me, right? 26 to 44. So it's something else. But hockey-wise, I've really focused on just Gretzky stuff. So there's always that side of things. I mean, it'd be just focusing. It'd be like having all baseball just be Griffey or Ohtani or something. Like Gretzky sells the best. And you can see like what the average markup is. So basketball, average markup 34. Baseball is 37. Boxing is just ludicrous. Have added stuff to the site, things like that. Football 38. Golf I've had pretty healthy margins on, but you can see like I've also lost stuff on it, so I haven't sold a lot. But and hockey 41%, not bad, right? And then annualized returns. So if you look at these 50%, again you can look at technically outliers on both sides, but really got to continue on basketball. Look at football a lot more because there's an opportunity there, and hockey has done well for me. So maybe I need to expand out a little bit on hockey and football. I still have a lot more work on my research on the basketball side of things because really it takes months to learn at least the basics of this stuff. And people might laugh, like, why does it take months? But really knowing the players and what sets move and things like that for you, it takes some time. And I've sold $3,000. It's probably not a lot for the time that's been put into it, but you have to think about this as kind of like a long term. If you build out your own strategies, it can be repeated continuously. So yeah, that's kind of my seller stats over here. Let's go back to my dashboard. I'll show you guys what I have in grading. I don't think I've sent anything new grading wise, and nothing's been out. But one of my losses right here, this Cody Bellinger is such a bad buy when I bought it. I was happy to sell out of it because I don't think I would ever sold it. But regardless, let's see if any updates on my grading. There shouldn't be, but you can see I submitted these 6-1. So they've been here 2 months. And 1983 reprint Mantles, super popular set. I don't expect them to do fantastic. I'm just hoping for, I think it was 7s and maybe an 8. I don't think this will with the centering, but I wanted to give it a try. And for what I was into these, I shouldn't be taking a loss, but we'll see how these grade. Okay, so we've gone over that. Let's take a look at kind of sales history on here, and we'll go over some of the bigger sales. And obviously I've sold 800 cards, so I'm gonna try to look at stuff that has bigger margins, and maybe we can talk about those. If you guys want to see, like, in the future for me just to build a PowerPoint and just do like, here's my top 20 sales or something like that, I don't know, like, just let me know if you don't like this formatting, because I'm always open to changes, but I'm just trying to show you guys kind of a little bit behind the scenes of what I'm buying and selling. Jordan, $4, $3.25. Always Jordan stuff just moves so fast. I mean, look at that, 728 to 8.1. And Jim Bunning, $1.33. A little bit longer on that side of things. Shaq. Let's see if we have any huge flips. That's not bad. David Ortiz, update variation 280 to 451. That was purchased here on eBay. Some of the variations take a little bit while to sell, but they tend to be some pretty good margins. A 52 inspired Babe Ruth, 285 to 380. Take that dollar all day long. Joe Burrow, 343 to 470. I really have not looked at any Tua Burrow in the longest amount of time, right? You can see these were purchased all the way in January. It took me 6 months to sell these. We'll keep going through that side of things. See, this is all 731. Mazeroski, 14 to 19. I'll take that. Kurt Rambis, these 86 flares, they do well for me. 530 into $9. And that type of stuff I want to buy more at shows. If I see these roll 250, 273. One of my regrets at the National, there's a dealer that had a bunch of 7s. I should have just cleared them out, but I did not. You can see more 86s that sold. Cole Hamels uncirculated. This was a pretty big one. Hamels, pretty good career. E-top stuff. I don't see get it listed all the time. And I don't even think there's probably any that are listed. Let's see. There's one at $30. But double your money on those E-tops. Again, not super liquid. If you look at how often these sell, it sold 4 times. But Hamels has a pretty nice following. And these are always scratched up cases and stuff like that. All right. Pete Rose update 84. Great card overall. Super late in Rose's career, but $11 to 17 on that side of things. Let's see what else we have. That looks pretty nice. Messi. This is one of the first soccer cards I've flipped here on the site. I was just browsing a port and someone had a Messi card on sale, so I took that gamble essentially. Jose Ramirez, finest. This took 6 months essentially to sell this Jose Ramirez. 779 into 1163. And this Adley took forever. Look, 1115. This has a coin in here. I don't even know how Adley's performing, but this number 99. It obviously has some damage here on the back. But I sold for $9. This was Avin Adley, was doing really well. Or I don't even know if he was doing really well. I just recognize the name. And, doubled the money. I figured kind of a cool piece. These do well too, the Platinum Anniversaries. They're not the fastest sells, but a lot of people like them. You can see I purchased that back in February, and it took 5 months. 66 rows, 1482 to 1805. Yeah, I'm thinking like with this tool, it'd be kind of cool to see like what were your biggest flips. But like you could just also do that in Excel spreadsheet. I don't know. I'm always open to new ideas to throw on stuff here. I kind of built this for the videos and also to know how I was doing with stuff, but theirs could be a lot more improved. Mark McGuire, 309 to 353. No idea who this is, but it was a Hires root beer. These are popular. Figured $17, why not? Raised it to 24. Made a nice little $6 profit. I mean, I've had that forever though, but again, not a super liquid card. Barry Larkin, 12 and 215. I took an offer on this one. Probably could have gotten closer to 20, but and I sold it within a few days, so not too concerned there. John Lennon, 2 to 384. Andre Johnson, $1 to 228. Andre Johnson again. So someone cleared out some Andre Johnson cards here on COMC. I'll just keep going through. Gene Wilder. Had this one forever, it felt like. I remember buying that a long time ago. Yeah, last year. $11 to $23. But really, really good profit margin if you think about it. Votto Chrome at 12 and to $17. Even just thinking about this, I can't believe they're $17 for his Chrome rookie. But that's what the going rate is. Jimmy Rollins, nice little profit there, 220 to 77 and 80. Koufax number, $1.80 to 308. No idea who this is. Again, a port sale. Someone was selling a bunch of stuff cheap, hockey-wise, 11 cents to 47 cents. And a lot of Shaq stuff moving all across the board. Not the biggest profit margins, right? But like it all adds up really fast, especially if you're buying it pretty fast, right? 30 cents, 35 cents, getting 44 cents out of all those. That's fine with me. Kidberg, 80 cents to $1.33. Here's some Nolan Ryans. I was joking how I don't sell a lot of Nolan Ryan stuff. Those sold. Votto sold 238 to 284. Another Nolan Ryan over here. Mookie Betts, Barry Bonds, and I'll keep going through. T-Law. I guess this is when he signed his contract, or I guess that was a while ago actually. That was going all over social media. Oh, you can start seeing some of the Yu-Gi-Oh sales, right? 68 cents to 228, $1.32 to 236, 11 cents to 38 cents, 20 cents to 37. Like I said, those were cheap, and I literally bought I think 200 Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so they'll sell over time. This Damon had that for a while. Gum Ink over here, Child of Rain Death, sold that for $2. Kershaw, not the biggest profit margin, but still 67 cents. Those add up really fast. Going through. This is a autograph Eric Hayden. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but this was bought 1120, and it essentially took forever to sell this card. I count that as forever. Some people that do COMC, sometimes it takes years to sell a non-liquid card, but doubled the money. Some Shaq Prisms, 38 cents to 70 cents. Iverson Chrome, 74 to $1.16. Mia Hamm, bigger soccer name. Let's keep going through. Shaq, $1.85. Chris Webber, 275 to 361. Bunch of Jordan stuff. Here's some of the Star Wars stuff that probably took forever, right? 315. 5.3, 12.15. So those really took a very long time. Keith bought all those. I wonder if he priced yeah, he trying to build some type of monopoly. You can see he bought them all and essentially priced them at $2. Which is a strategy people employ, right? You can buy a bunch of stuff and do that. Bought this card at a show a while ago, 1967. It's a cheap slab, but there's always people that want to buy these type of cheap slabs, right? Big fan of team. Bunch of Garnett stuff sold across the board. Sports cards, just bought all those. No idea who this is. Johnny Callison, PSA 6, $20. And we'll keep going through. Anything else on here that really stands out? These 88, 89 flares do well, but like you could just never buy them at shows this cheap, right? Like, or Perishably Hall of Famer. Like this sold for 64 cents. It cost 50 cents to insert on the site. Like while they were super liquid, it's really not like, are you gonna pay a penny for the card and make 13 cents? Kobe PSA 7 on that side of things. Seager made $1 there. Gretzky, Harper, Joe Mauer, 2014 tops, 19 cents. Why not? Abraham Lincoln, Donald Bradman. I had this card forever. It's on here. Someone wanted it. Rusty. Those always. It amazes me how popular his rookie card is. But they move, man. They move. One of those great cards. This is always a beautiful card. Again, a card that moves quite a bit. The masterpieces, Babe Ruth. The Farewell to Yankee Stadium. Such a great card. Sold a decent amount of those over time. Enemies, these a while. They're finally moving, which is cool. Bo Jackson, rookie card on there. 2012 Prism Griffies. Man, a few years ago, these would have gone insane. LaShawn McCoy, rookie numbered at 999. Drew Brees, Allen Ginter. Nice little profit margin there. These 2001 combos. I mean, a lot of big names on here, but they don't really sell that well. Which kind of surprises me, right? You have Morgan, Griffey Jr., Larkin, and Bench, 4 Hall of Famers. Oh well, it doesn't really matter too much. Mahomes got this one super cheap, so figured why not. These I took a huge L on. These Casey Mizes, 8 cents. Man, it cost 50 cents to insert, but it'll be interesting when I reprice kind of my COMC port. I haven't done it in a while, so I have to go through and do that again. But I'll be curious to see how much stuff I'll be taking losses on. But Mays 2001, $1.44 to $2.32. Nick Chubb, $4.20 into $5.40. Going through. This card moves great for me also. The Carlos Beltran 1995. I picked up a BGS 95 to throw into platform. We'll see how that one does. These archives are always popular. Fitzgerald, rookie, 5 into 773. Bunch of 86 Fleer. Super good for me. Actually, I want to see purchase price was $4 and sold that for $2.35. I probably lost out pretty bad on that one. And now almost it's back to $2.95. One of the things I learned is sometimes not to reprice your cards and just let it wait. But that was a bad buy at the time. I don't know why I spent $4 on that. Regardless, you can see I purchased that a long time ago. Bad loss, but it happens. Another bad loss. This one over here. Probably should have just waited, right? These are up to $4.75. And I lost 40 cents. I should have just kept them. Made money on that one. But, oh well, you live and learn, right? We'll just keep going through some of these over here. Made $1 profit, whatnot. Bought these a long time ago at an auction. They sold over like $10 or $15 a piece. See, nice profits there. 42 and 26. Need to buy more registry type cards because they sell over time. Luis Severino, this sold. That's funny. McGuire 7.5. But this one took forever, but I knew eventually someone would buy it. Old SGC slab, half grade, 2 things that do not mesh well. And made $2 on it. Knew it would happen. Super nice margins on the 2012 Mickey Mantle 470 into a 12. Devers 9.5, $65. 33. Gum Indians Jim Bridger $133. Roosevelt fourth term $47. Randy Johnson 630 into 808. Nice $2 profit on that one. Sebastian Aho 94 cents and $2.17. I know he's a bigger name a while ago. I wonder how his liquidity is going right now. We'll look that up. Keep going through some of this stuff. Devin Hester $1.25, $2.90. Young Guns Robert Thomas into $9.20. Cobb, that was numbered to $1.66. This one took forever to move. 11 cents. That was a bad buy to wait that long to make 11 cents. Yeah, Aho doesn't really sell. I guess he's not doing that well anymore. Where are we at? We're only halfway done. Man. I'll move a little bit faster for you guys just because I didn't realize how long it's been. Mark Twain, O-Pee-Chee Rose. I literally think I bought this O-Pee-Chee Rose for like $10 also. Sometimes those cheap slabs, they do pretty well. Drysdale too, $9 to $14. A lot of Duncans that sold. Charlie White in 05. David Wright 2002 Bowman's did well. This one I bought at a show very cheap. I want to say like $30. Sometimes people move some gray cards cheap because they don't like the grading company or whatnot, or like the grade. Like some people hate eights, and some modern basketball guys don't use SGC. I don't really care. I knew that card would sell, and it did. 48 Leaf, Leroy Zimmerman. I did a very long time ago. Going through. I'm probably missing some stuff. I'm just trying to look at the names. If I see anything. Bunch of cheap stuff. Took a little bit of a loss on that Tommy Davis. Nice little flip on that Kareem, $1.29 to $1.90. Connie Hawkins. Going through. Someone bought out all my Randy Johnson's Keith, right? Made like 8 to 10 cents a card for a lot of these. I wonder what these are at now. I sold them at 68 cents. And you can see they're at 72 cents. So that's fine with me, right? A little bit cheaper. I had a lot of these Randy Johnson cards. I just felt 60 cents was cheap, and I bought them all up. Adrian Beltre, $8.74 to $10. Von Millers. CJ Abrams, 3 of 5, $142. I bought this for $100 at a show a long time ago. I was wishing CJ Abrams did better. I don't even know what his stats are anymore. Not to go off topic, but let's see what he's doing now. Oh, he's actually performing not too bad. 3.5 wins above replacement, 256 batting average, 20 stolen bases. I always thought he would steal more bases though. But had his 1-of-1 at one point. I still may have his 1-of-1. I don't remember. John Sullivan defeated. Classic card in that set. Opening day, CC Sabathia, numbered 60 cents to $1.14. Tony Gonzalez, nice 30-cent profit there. This Lincecum did really well, 9.75 to 13. Going forward. Verlander, second year, but has the rookie logo. Another Yu-Gi-Oh card. This one moved decently fast, $1.30 to $4. Nintendo. So I've owned this card as a kid, probably. Don Newcomb, $20 to $27. What else is over here? Montana Brady. That looks like a classic card. Another Star Wars. Bunch of Duncans that moved. There's Star Wars. And I know I haven't had the best luck with Star Wars stuff, but maybe I should still try it again because it's such a popular franchise. Let's see. More Griffies. But I don't know. Maybe it's going to be down the road. I got to focus on certain stuff first before to knock a number to 50. Thought it was just a cheap card. Like, I know he'd have a fan somewhere. $1.22, $1.83. We're on 7-1. So the last sales of the month, some Nolan Ryans that also sold. Michael Vick, Cade Horton, literally paid 50 cents for this card. Obviously, there's an insertion fee, but I saw this in a 50-cent box. I'm like, this should not be there. What do you know? I have no idea who Cade Horton is, but Johnny Bench 5. And yeah, that is essentially it on the sales side of things. Hope you guys enjoy this video. And again, if you want to check out my thing, COMC stats.streamlit.app, all the source code is there, so you guys can check it out. And if you want to add anything else to there, if you know how to program, awesome. If not, just give me some ideas. I'm always open to building it out better. Obviously, there's a time commitment to it. I don't have a ton of time, but try. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post this COMC video every single month. It's a lot of fun. So, all right. And if you want to check out my COMC store itself, the link is down below in the description if you want to help support. All right. I'll see you guys